Across this country, our hearts have been breaking as we've seen America recede from leadership in the world. It's created a vacuum into which have stepped nations like Iran and Russia and China, and the world has become a much more dangerous place.
Hello all. U.S. politicians want us to be scared. Everything is dangerous. Russia, Iran, China, Muslims. They're all coming to get us, and Americans should be very, very afraid. These familiar talking points are based on a fundamental misunderstanding of what's actually going on in the world. This is because the true dimensions of U.S. power are hidden. American government and media talk about every conflict as if it's a rerun of World War II. This can get ridiculous. In 1983, the world was treated to the spectacle of the U.S. invasion of Grenada, a Caribbean country of 91,000 people. At tremendous cost, both in money and in 19 American lives, the United States kept one of the smallest countries in the world from going communist. Yippee! I mentioned Grenada to point out that small, silly conflicts can hurt, and all of our conflicts since 1989 have been small and silly. What our politicians and our news media never tell us is just how overwhelming U.S. power is. They can't avoid telling us that our military is the largest in the world by far, or that we have the largest economy. When they do that, though, they rightly point out that this dominance won't last. Our slice of the pie is shrinking, and by the end of this century, we may not even have the most powerful military anymore. But when they talk about U.S. power, they leave the most important bit out. The United States has been the only superpower for 25 years, and it has been the main leader of the world system for over 70 years. This means that all of the world's institutions have been created either by the United States or with U.S. approval. This alphabet soup of organizations keeps the world peaceful, grows prosperity, and largely operates according to U.S. interests. These institutions don't always do exactly what we say, but it's pretty close, because we wrote or approved all the laws and charters that will govern their operations for decades to come. This isn't some side effect of U.S. power to be ignored. It is by far the most important aspect of U.S. power. The American-led world system, or international order, is the bank into which we've deposited almost a century's worth of dominance and power. The media loves to focus on the successes and failures of our military in 2 or 3 desperately sad countries. It pays almost no attention to the international institutions that run the entire world. This lack of attention keeps us from understanding how others see U.S. actions. If we were just another country who could be looked at as an equal, then our alliances and economic deals wouldn't be threatening to folks like Russia and China. But when we consider the fact that the United States controls the international economy and is strongly allied with all but 5 to 10 of the world's 196 countries, we can see that the U.S. is a giant among pygmies. When we start a conversation with China, Russia, or Iran, we've already got them backed into a corner. To be sure, these countries can sting us, but looked at honestly, they sting us the same way Grenada or Iraq does, not the way that Nazi Germany or the Soviet Union could. If we invade a country or get involved in conflicts that mean infinitely more to others than to us, we get burned. But these fights only happen if we create them. The attitudes of people like Trump and Clinton make these fights more likely, not less. The politicians and the media systematically ignore the power of the world system and how it helps the United States. We hear all about the UN General Assembly's votes against Israel. We don't hear anything about the dozens of world hotspots that the United Nations polices so the U.S. military doesn't have to. These institutions are ours. And if we can continue to get the rest of the world to take ownership of them, they will protect us long after our economic and military dominance has faded. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And if you'd like to help me make more videos like this one, please click on the Patreon link here to find out how.